Hello. Hello.
Hi, how's everyone?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Doing well.
Excellent. We'll give everybody a couple more minutes, see if anyone else is going to join us, then we can get started. Any requests, anything you want to do or don't want to do?
I'm game for anything.
Okay. This is going to be a pretty straightforward, gentle yoga practice. So. Tiffany, didn't you have a dog that would come join us in practice last spring? Oh, there you go.
He's being very lazy today.
How old is your dog?
He is 5.
I've got a 12-year-old. And he follows me around, so he may very well wander into class. He has his bed over there. I hear him snoring in the next room right now.
Speaking of dogs, I have an adorable, I don't have a dog, but my sister does, and she also has a 3-month-old baby.
Oh.
And she sent this to me yesterday.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Aww.
That's just what you want to see, you know, your dog being sweet with your baby. Is that their first child?
It is.
So their dog was their first child, really.
That's true. That's true. Well, they were on a walk and somebody said, "Oh, how old is your baby?" And my sister said 5. Because she got the dog. But yeah, no, she was at the counter, like cooking the other day, and the baby was in the swing behind her, and so was the dog. And she turned around, and the dog's absolute favorite toy was just in the baby's lap.
Oh, that's so sweet. Sharing even.
Right? The baby really couldn't care less, but whatever.
Right. But the parents liked it. Hello.
Hi, everyone. How's everyone doing today? Sorry, I'm.
Good. We were just chatting about animals while we waited to see if anyone else was going to join us.
Oh, nice. Well, I'm just going to keep muted because my child is in the other room and I just don't want it to
Got it.
interfere, but we'll wait a minute.
So how's your weather around the country? Where are you all joining from?
Well, I'm from New York, and it's actually really nice out today. I'm out in Long Island.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. It's a cloudy day. We're supposed to have thunderstorms here in Florida, in Jacksonville.
Mm.
I'm
It's
just
80 and cloudy.
I'm just south of Boston, and it's really nice day out actually today. So.
Oh, well, then I'm glad you're here with us. Thank you.
Yeah, it's also sunny in Vermont. So
Nice.
beautiful day.
Well, what do you think? Should we get started and just let other people drop in if they want to join?
Yeah, I think that's a good
Okay.
idea.
All right. So find your seat. If you want to set up a little bit, we're going to probably be seated for, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes, not terribly long. So if you want to sit up on something, that's great. And just make yourself comfortable. You can sit cross-legged in Sukhasana. You can sit back on your feet if you like. I don't do that, but you can sit with your legs out in front, just something that's comfortable where you can have a nice long spine. And once you're settled in, close your eyes and just take a few deep breaths. So just start some nice slow inhalations and exhalations. And then see if you can lengthen your inhalation to a count of 4 and your exhalation to 4 as well. And maybe you can lengthen your exhale just a little bit more, maybe to a count of 6. In doing this, we're stimulating the calming part of our nervous system. We have the sympathetic side, that's the fight or flight, and we have the parasympathetic side, that's sort of the rest or digest. And this helps stimulate that parasympathetic side to help calm you, reduces your heart rate, lowers your blood pressure. So. Take 2 more breaths. And then bring your hands to your side when you're ready, no hurry. And we'll take 3 opening breaths together. So inhale, nice and slow, reach out and up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. And another, reaching out as you lift up. Exhale, hands to heart. And one more. Okay, now we're going to start off with just some gentle stretching. So take your arms up overhead, and we're going to turn to the right. Then lower your arms. Take one hand to your knee, the other hand behind you, and spine is nice and long. You can look over that back shoulder if that's comfortable for your neck. And take your arms back up with an inhale. Exhale, revolve the other direction. Inhale, back up. Take your right hand to the mat. We're going to side bend to the right. So see if you can really raise the ribs on the left and feel a bend in the left. And then go to the other side. And notice what the breath feels like on that right side as it's arching. And back to center. One cow and one cat here. So lift your gaze, lift your chest, coming into cow pose. And pull your navel in, round your spine, tuck your chin, coming into cat. Then sit up with a nice long spine, keeping your back flat, hinge forward. And then come back up. If you're sitting cross-legged, change your forward foot. And we're going to do each one of those one more time. So arms up, revolving to the right. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, back to center. Right hand to the mat, side bend right. And change side. Back to center. Hands to your knees for cow and cat. Inhale, cow. And then exhale, cat. And come back upright. And a hinge forward here. Come back up and take both legs out in front. And reach up. We're going to hinge forward with a flat back until you meet resistance. When you've gone as far as you can, bring your hands down. You can make a little bend in the knees and fold forward. Rounding is fine. If you're feeling this just behind your hamstring, bend your knees a little more. What we're looking for here is a gentle stretch along the back of the legs, the hips, and up through the back. So make your own adjustments so that you feel a nice stretch all over. And then come back up and make your way to table, to all fours. So hips over knees, shoulders over wrists, all 10 toes pressing into the mat. If your wrists bother you, you can step out just a little further. And we're going to flow through cows and cats here. You can flow with your own breath at your own pace. And then next time you pass through table, pause there. Just a little strengthening work for the arms. So stretch both hands out in front of you, coming into a low plank. Little bend to the elbows, a mini push-up, back up, and then flow back in the direction of child's pose. You won't go all the way back. And flowing forward, little push-up, and flowing back. Do one more of those. And then tuck your toes, lift your hips, coming into downward facing dog. And you can alternate bending your knees, walking your dog. And then step forward, coming into our mountain pose. So feet grounded for some partial sun salutations. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, lift up, look at your thumbs. Exhale, dive down. Knees can bend. Hands can go to the shins or to the floor. With your next inhale, lengthen the spine and come halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, hands to heart. So two more like that. Inhale, lift. Little back bend if you like. Exhale, dive. Halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach out as you rise up. And hands to heart. And one more. Inhale, lift. Dive down. Halfway up. And this time we'll pause on our forward fold here. So you can step your feet a little further apart if you like. You can bend your knees or keep them straight. You can take your hands to the mat, to your legs, to your thighs. Just something that feels comfortable and helpful. You might want to hold opposite elbows. And you can play with this and see what works for you. And then when you're ready, reach out and up. hands to heart. Okay. Now we're going to stretch this part of our body. It gets rounded so much when we work on computers or hold books or whatever. So take your hands behind you, loosely interlace your fingers. And lower your arms as you lift your chest and lift your gaze. Really stretching right below the collarbones. If you feel this a lot in your low back, pull your navel in and see if you can transfer that stretch to the back bend to the upper back. Then let go and relax. And we'll do that one more time. So as you inhale, lift your chest, lift your gaze, stretching across the upper chest. And relax. And take both hands behind your head, loosely interlock, and we're going to side bend again. And back to center. And other side. Okay. Now set up so that you're at the top of your mat with most of your mat behind you. We're going to come into warrior one. So step your right foot back, left foot forward. You want to set up your stance so that your left knee is not going out over your ankle when you're in your stance, and your back foot is firmly planted on the floor. So once you've got your stance and you're comfortable, reach your arms out in front. Look at that space between your hands and watch it as you lift up. Coming into warrior one. From here, we're going to move into pyramid. So hands to your hips, straighten that forward knee, and hinge forward at the waist. If you have blocks and you want to use those, you're more than welcome. With your next inhale, lift up, bend that forward knee, come back to warrior one. Take a breath in, exhale, pyramid, straighten the forward leg, hinge forward. And one more time, inhale, warrior one. And exhale, pyramid. Come back up. Come to the ball of that back foot, bend the forward knee and step forward. A half sun salutation here, and then we'll change sides. So inhale, out and up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, lift. Exhale, dive. Come halfway up. Forward fold. Inhale as you reach out and rise up. Palms together and hands to heart. Now you're going to step back with that left foot. Right foot will be forward. And set up right knee over right ankle, left leg long. And when you're ready, bring your arms up, warrior one. And take a couple of breaths here, and then we'll flow into pyramid. All right, take an in-breath. Exhale, straighten the knee, hands to your hips, and hinge forward. We'll pause here for a couple of breaths. See if you can keep your spine nice and long. Inhale, lift, warrior one, bend that forward knee. Exhale, hands to the hip, straighten the knee, pyramid. Inhale, lift, warrior one. And one more pyramid. And come back up. And step your back foot forward. And turn sideways so that you have the long length of the mat available. We're going to move into a warrior two series. So step your feet wide apart and then turn your right toes so they're pointing to the right. So your back foot is parallel to the short side of the mat. The forward foot's parallel to the long side. And again, you just want to bend and straighten that knee and check and make sure that it's not extending way out over your foot, protecting your knee. And when you have your legs set where you want them, bring your arms up shoulder height. Make sure that they're relaxed. Gaze out over your forward hand, warrior two. Rotate that forward palm, coming into reverse warrior. So left hand drops to the thigh, right hand. Back to warrior two. Now we're coming into side angle. So take that forward arm down to your thigh or toward the mat or your ankle. And gaze can be up at your hand or down at the floor. Side angle. Back to warrior two. Reverse. Warrior two. Side angle. You can choose regular side angle or extended side angle, making a long line from your fingertip to your toes. Warrior two. And we'll go one more each direction. So reverse. Passing through warrior two to side angle. Back to warrior two. Arms come down, knees straightened, and turn your feet back facing forward. We're going to come into a wide angle forward before we go the other direction and do our warrior two series. So you may not want your stance quite as wide. So turn your feet so that the sides of the feet are parallel to the short sides of the mat. Your toes may actually look like they're turning in just a bit, and that's fine. Hands to your hips or to that point where the legs meet the body. Lengthen and then hinge forward. Start with the flat back and maybe just come to horizontal and pause here. You can stay here, or if you want, you can take your hands to the floor or a block, your shins, and see if you can come a little deeper into the fold. And then make your way back to standing. And we're going to go the other direction. So all those same things, setting up your feet, making sure that your knee's not going out over your ankle, and bringing your arms up, gazing over that forward hand, warrior two. Rotate the forward palm and reverse. And back to warrior two. Drop that forward arm, coming into side angle. Back to warrior two. Reverse. Flowing through warrior two to side angle. One more time each direction, passing through warrior two, reverse. And back through warrior two to side angle or extended side angle. Then come back up. Lower your arms, straighten your leg. And turn your feet back toward, still with a wideish sort of stance. We're going to come into a goddess flow. So toes are pointing outward. It may be a 30 or 45-degree angle. And you can just sink down, try and keep your spine long and sink down and make sure your knees and your toes are moving in the same general direction. Okay. Then bring your arms out to the sides, bend at the elbow, coming into goddess or goalpost arms, and sink down, coming into goddess pose. And press down with your feet and lift up, lift your arms, making a big X, and sink down. Lift up, and goddess. And we'll do each of those one more time, lifting up and lowering down. And come back up to standing, walk your feet together, and coming into mountain pose. So find your footing. And here you can close your eyes if you're comfortable with your balance. And just take a few breaths, a little period to drop in briefly to meditation. So just follow your breath. Now moving into some balance work. So ground your right foot so it's stable in the mat. Come to the toe of the left foot and turn the left foot out. We're going to come into standing pigeon or bonsai, something a little different. So your choices for leg position would be to cross here or to bend a little bend in that knee and cross ankle over knee. So you can kind of play with those and see once you've got your decision made, bring your hands to your heart, choose your leg position, find something to look at that's not moving, and breathe. You can sink down a little lower. And when you're ready, you can come out of this. And we'll go to the other side. So get your left foot stable. Decide what you want to do with the right foot, little bend to the left knee, and then come into the pose. And you can come out when you're ready. Excellent. All right, now we're going to do a sun salutation to take us to the mat. And we're going to move into table and then lower down and do a little bit of back bending. So set up on the end of the mat, lots of space to come down. Inhale, reach out and up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, lift. Exhale, dive down. Come halfway up. Strong hands to the mat. Step the feet back, knees can come down, and then lower down to your belly. And let's start with crocodile pose. So you can just take your forearms so they're parallel to the end of the mat. Stack your hands, drop your forehead to your hands. You can let your feet come out to the sides if you like, or straight back. And this is a very gentle back bend. So from here, the next step is to move up into Sphinx pose. So in Sphinx pose, your elbows are under your shoulders. Arms are parallel to one another. Fingers are spread broad, pressing down into the mat. Legs are long, toenails pressing into the mat. And really engage your shoulders. Don't droop down, but engage your shoulders and your upper back, coming into a little bit of back bend, but a strong posture, not a droopy one there. We'll take a few breaths here. If you're feeling a lot in your low back, you can pull in your navel, engage your abdominals, and see if that helps. If you're still feeling it, just go back to that crocodile pose, resting your hands on your forearms. And from here, make your way to table. A nice, slow cow and cat. And then slide back, letting your heels, hips come over your heels into child pose. Arms can be extended or along the side of your body. And when you're ready, make your way to seated. So start out with your legs extended in front of you. And we're going to bring left knee in and let it fall out to the side. So your foot will be along your thigh, yeah. And sit up nice and tall. You can bring your arms up if you want. Going to hinge forward. And then again, when you need to start rounding your back, take your hands down, bend your knee, and round forward over your leg. This is head to knee pose. It should be a relaxing pose. You should let gravity do the work here. So you don't have to fight to get closer or anything. And if you're again feeling a lot on the hamstring, just bend your knee a little bit more so that you feel that nice stretch. Now walk yourself back up. Bring this knee up, cross it over. And we're coming into a twist here. We're going to twist that way, so to your left. Come back to center. And we'll change sides. So bringing the other knee in and letting it fall out to the side. Lifting up, hinging forward. You can really, when you start to round, you can really pull your navel in to help you round, letting that chin come in the direction of the knee. And then relax into the pose. And make your way back up. Come back to that cross-legged, easy-seated pose for some chakra rolls. So shoulder toward opposite knee, then round forward. Other shoulder toward other knee and come up. You can move at your own pace. I'm creaking. You can move at your own pace, pausing anywhere that feels particularly good. In reverse direction. And when you're ready, you can take your time and make your way onto your back. Bring your knees in towards your chest. And you can hold your knees over or under and just make circles with your knees. In reverse direction. All right. Then both feet to the mat, sort of near your hips. Take your arms and kind of make robot arms. Press down with your upper arm. Maybe bring your shoulders together a little bit. We're coming into bridge pose. Then you can let your arms come back down along your side. Press down with your heels to lift up, coming into bridge pose. And then lower down, letting your spine roll down from top to bottom. And we'll come back in that again, lifting your hips from bottom to top. And then lowering. We'll do that one more time. Pressing down to lift up. And then lowering. And then take both legs long on the mat. And stretch arms overhead. Then bring your right knee in toward your chest. Actually, in toward your shoulder, a little out to the side. Take that right knee in your left hand. Your right arm can come out to the side, and we're going to twist to the left. So knees come across into a spinal twist. And then come back to center. You can let that knee fall out to the side, coming into reclined tree pose. And we'll change sides. So other leg long. For me, it's left knee in. Arm out to the side and revolving to the right. Coming into that spinal twist, other side. Back to center and let this knee fall out. Recline tree on this side. Then bring your straight, bend your straight leg, bring your feet together, coming into recline bound to angle. So your feet are together, knees are out to the side. And arms can be at your side, or maybe you want to bring your arms into goddess arms that we were in earlier for another stretch across the upper chest. Now stretch long again, arms and legs in opposite direction. Take your right hand and hold on to your left wrist. Then step your right foot out to the side a little bit and cross your left foot over it. So pulling your left arm to the right, left leg crossed over right, making a C with that left side of your body. And other side. And come back to center. Coming into Shavasana, so arms can rest at your side. Feet can fall apart, legs can separate a little bit. If you prefer, you can bend your knees and let your knees fall together. When you're ready, you can start slow movements and make your way to seated. No hurry. A closing breath together. Inhale, reach out and up. Palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Thank you for practicing with me today. Take care of yourselves. Namaste.
Thank you, Bonnie. That was
Oh, my
great.
pleasure.
Thank you.
I didn't realize how much I needed to stretch my back. That was much needed.
Yeah, you know, especially I think since everybody's been working from home, I think we spend a lot more time sitting around it. And my husband sits in the chair all day and hardly ever gets up out of his chair. And, you know, I do a lot of yoga and stuff, and the dog has me out like every 2 hours, so I'm moving around. But I think a lot of people, once you sit down at your computer, you're just there. So I think
Exactly.
all of that is really good.
Yeah. Yeah. I could feel it in a good way when we were going, you know, back. I don't even know what it was called, but where you're stretching on both sides there.
Oh, right. In the beginning, just the spinal. Yeah. Yeah. There's, I guess, 7 movements of the spine: lengthening, twisting to each side, side bending to each side, and forward and backward. So I pretty much like to do those at the start of every class just to get people a little loosened up.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
My pleasure. Have a good week, everybody.
All right. You too. Take care.
Bye.